Go ahead.
Good question. Thank you.
With the current development of global trade, would you really say that the world is being flattened even when India's development of technology is growing rapidly and China and Japan are catching up?
We never said the world was being flattened.
We do not.
You mentioned the culture and how that fits into the economy. How would you say that?
You want to say that culture fits into the economy?
But class-based interactions do factor into the economy. Social dynamics, they oftentimes dictate the
For
patterns.
example, China has one of the biggest workforces in the world, not partially because of the population, but also because the government's control and their culture dictates their culture work for their country.
Which completely shapes their economy, the industrial juggernaut that it is.
With that goes like cultural and like political things can change and Washington's theories that it stays stagnant. So if it's relied upon social and political factors, then that changes. So it's never going to be stagnant.
I feel like because, well, never mind, just like questions. Sorry. How do I phrase that into a question? Because, like, social and cultural factors have such a impact on the economy, how does your model represent that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to point out that Wallerstein's model does not represent that, and we believe that Albert Richardson is right, and that the social and political do determine the economic, and that the expansion of the world economy results in higher agricultural expansion, as we've already said.
That didn't answer me. Like,
The social and political determine the economic.
can you slow down and louder?
The social and political determine the economic.
Politics and social structure
Yeah,
determine
like-
the economy.
Which is part of culture.
Right.
Social and political make up culture.
Yeah. So, like, can you give some examples?
You
Like,
just
how
said
does
China.
Oh, okay. I'm following. How would you, like, apply your theory as, like, a world system to, like, globally?
For example, as we've already said, China, which does make up a huge part of the global economy, and also that can be applied to the United States, which is what you would call the core. The United States culture really does affect how our economy works. Our system of two parties does affect the economy, and also if you look at Europe, the EU, Greece's decline, parts of those were cultural. So if you look at that and you look at how the social and political determine economic fluctuations, then we believe that our model is just fit.
Even if you examine American ideology, America's was sort of built on the foundation freedom, people a free market. People are able to start their own businesses, and that spurs innovation, and that's made us the very service reliant. We're very reliant on services and high tech industry, and we're defined by our cultural ideals.
Yes, but that's, like, only two huge components of the, like, world economy, but it doesn't, like, encompass, like, the entire, like, how would you apply this to, like, the entire world, like, generally speaking?
Well, people aren't robots. Like people aren't here, just to be factory girls. Like everything,
This allows for political and social
right.
fluctuations.
Finance does not exist in a vacuum. Like it's completely driven by cultural necessity and the government and social structure.
Political nuances. Like Wallerstein's model is very rigid, whereas this one allows for political and social fluctuations.
Money.
Do you think that the Wallerstein's description of the stages of growth, more specifically the homogenization of local population and the European states participating in active exploration of new markets. Don't you think that's a pretty accurate description? Don't you think Wallerstein's explanation of the stages of growth is accurate?
Well, we never said that Wallerstein was wrong, per se. We just said that there were other models that were better.
And also, it is possible that the economy did once operate on based on what Wallerstein is suggesting, but we're just saying that that's no longer true, which we've already shown that what he calls periphery countries are breaking out of the cycle.
Right, we're not saying that Wallerstein doesn't provide a good history lesson. Like, this stuff is historically accurate.
It's a nice theory.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily hold up under the, the fluctuations of the modern economy.
The fact is that, like, since 1850, it hasn't just been, like, peripheries, like, staying stagnant. They're, like, the rich countries, they're becoming more prominent in the world economy, so it can't apply anymore.
Like, but this is exactly what, like, the stages of growth are saying, that, like, stage of growth that countries can grow into other groups.
Except that if you look at, for example, stages 3 and 4C, the inclusion of Africa and the Asian continents as peripheral zones increased the available surplus, allowing other areas such as U.S. and Germany to enhance their core status. They have not, in fact, allowed U.S. and Germany to enhance their core status, as China is now eclipsing both of those countries' economies.
Also, if you look at the very last step, the furthest along in this shift, by the 1900s, the shift towards manufacturing, core areas are apparently encouraged the rise of industry so that they could sell machines. But these peripheries have actually, risen up with these machines and challenged the cores.
I feel like that's
It's
also,
completely moved past
no,
this.
it can't,
Go ahead.
like, it moves forward, like, growth, but it can also, like, include decline, like, as an opposite. Like, a bidimensional, that's
Right, that's good. This theory.
what it's saying.
I mean, decline is always possible, but as we can see now, these poor countries, they're not just growing, but they're also surpassing all these other, like, superpower core countries kind of thing. Like, China, like, the U.S. owes China more money than anyone else in the world. Like, it's not, like, we didn't get rich off of the cheap labor provided by China. We are in debt to China, so, yeah.
Any other questions?
How much time do we have left? 2 minutes? Okay.
I mean, Callie, you said you're not saying that he's wrong, but I think Claire said in your introduction statement that he's completely incorrect. No, that's exactly the opposite. The exact quote is, "We do not believe that Wallerstein's theory is in its entirety completely wrong."
Yeah.
Okay.
Wallerstein's theory is, it works good looking backwards.
It's a nice theory, it's just not very
I'd say it's 2020.
Time for one more question.
As a model for the 1850s to the present day, not including like projections into the future, how would you say that your model is held up to historical, to like the history so
Very
far?
well, because there are obviously social and political fluctuations, and those obviously do determine the economy. For example, think of the Great Depression. It wasn't until a political event, World War II, that the U.S. managed to break out of the economic slump. So that's just one example.
What was the question?
How does our model
How does it hold up to like
hold up in
present, like 1850s to present, not including projections into the future?
Right now
Like,
or before
1850 to now.
That's what we were talking about.
No, you've been including like into like the future, like 20, 40.
The rise of China has been happening up to now. It's not like we're telling you
Yeah.
it's going to start rising. It's like all, it's like,
No,
like
like
happened.
no, never mind. Like,
The roots of the rise of China,
like the roots are now, but like
No, the roots of the rise of China.
Like Carly said, it's not like China like at
No,
this
like
moment
they-
start rising.
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying. Never mind.
Time.